Welcome back, YouTube, to another episode here at WILDMAN Lifts. I'm your host, WILDMAN. Now on today's episode, I just finished hitting a really big PR for myself. Now I was on the wagon wheels and I was doing deadlifts and I added the chains. And the reason why that I was training in this manner is because I want to get better at the deadlift. Wagon wheels are a common implement that's used in strongman competition, so you might as well train with them. But it does give about a 3-inch to 4-inch advantage than it is just lifting a deadlift straight from the ground. Now let me explain to you why this is so big. Take a look at my old PR. This is 485 pounds with those wagon wheels. And yes, they are a lot higher off the ground, I understand. But look at how much of an effort I had to do in order to get that up. And that's because I'm starting off at a sticking point. This is essentially kind of like a rack pull. And it's a lot harder to do if you're starting off at a sticky point if you're trying to do a normal deadlift setup. Rack pulls, in my opinion, are very good as a variation lift and as a training tool for deadlift. However, getting that momentum from the ground in order to pass your knee is very difficult to do. So sometimes starting at the sticky point and really learning how to be patient to grind through at the sticky point in order to get it past your knee, rack pulls are perfect for that. And so are wagon wheels. Now take a look at my new PR. So that's 480 pounds on the bar. So that's 5 pounds less than what I did on a straight pull. And then those chains on there, that makes it to 520 pounds total. And you could just see how smooth that went. And I was very happy with this because that means that I just completely shattered my old PR. And that's actually the second time I had to do it. Because the first time I pulled it, it was a lot slower and a little bit more awkward. But then I realized that the camera wasn't recording. So I kind of had to make a very tough decision. Do I just tell people I did it or do I actually show it in the video? So that was the second time that I had to pull that in order to capture it on the video. So I was very happy with that. But let me tell you something. When you're going to lift a big weight like that, sometimes it gets a little complicated. You might overthink things. You might get a little nervous. And that's kind of how I was feeling on today's exercise. So I'm going to give you some tips of what I like to do when I know that I'm going to go for a PR, and it's going to be for an all-time PR that I've ever hit, and I'm very nervous about it. So leading up to this day, I kind of knew what day that I wanted to hit this on, and I thought about it a lot. It kept coming in my mind, and I kept picturing myself lifting it. And in order to prepare my central nervous system and my body and my muscles to hit this, here's a couple of things that I did in order to make sure that I was ready on game day. The first thing I did was I made sure that I got adequate rest. Prior to leading up to this, I actually got a pretty decent amount of sleep. I actually ate pretty decently and on time and routinely because I had a whole week off from work. So I was able to kind of plan around that to make sure that on this day, I was ready to go and that my whole body, my central nervous system was primed and ready to lift that big weight. The second thing that I did was I made sure that I took my creatine about an hour before I was going to lift. This is because I take creatine every single day. But when I know I'm going to lift a PR, I try to take it about an hour before I'm going to lift because then I know that my body will be ready for it. And the creatine absolutely does help if you take it about an hour, if you can plan it, in order to get in there to the gym and to use it to your advantage. I also took my pre-workout 30 minutes prior to going into this lift today because that's also going to help. And I took one that was particularly powerful, had a lot of chemicals in it that was going to make my face feel like that it was on fire, just to make sure that I was amped and ready to go. The third thing that I did was I did not have any giant strength training sets. Typically, I like to do movements that are going to warm up my body. Like today, when I'm doing deadlifts, typically I like to do a weighted ab mat sit-up and a very short shuttle run, just to make sure that the blood is flowing and everything is good. But not on today. On today, I chose to do 0 giant strength training sets and just only focus on the deadlift. The third thing that I did was I made huge jumps. I typically don't make huge jumps when I'm doing giant strength training sets because I want to make sure when I'm doing giant strength training that I'm getting an adequate workout as well, because that usually involves sets and reps, and that's important if you're going to try to build your strength. But today I could actually just go as quickly as I could. So I actually did it within 5 sets. So I just kept making 90-pound jumps, and then my last jump was a 70-pound jump, just to kind of conserve my energy and not blow myself out before I get to my top sets. And the fifth and final thing is actually a post thing. I didn't do anything extra after I was done lifting that really heavy set. I didn't do my accessories. I didn't do my assistance. I didn't do a variation lift. I didn't try to test my strength on the stone. None of that, even though I felt pretty good. And the reason why is because you have to make sure that everything is kosher after you're done lifting. I technically could have gone up a higher weight. I probably could have done like 500 on the bar, so pulling 540 pounds total, which would have been huge. But then I would have to wait at least another 10 days before I could start strength training again. And that wasn't really worth it to me. And this is the weight that I wanted to hit, and I had to hit it twice. So because of that, I'm going to take that as a huge win. And I understand it's wagon wheels and chains, so it doesn't count. I understand all you naysayers out there, and I totally agree with you 100%. However, this is a training tool. I got to feel 520 pounds in my hands at the top of the lift. And I got to feel that gradual weight shift as I was going up in the movement. So this is really boosting my confidence and kind of showing me where I'm at strength training wise, so that I can hit this on a normal deadlift. So now I'm going to finish the workout by jumping in the pool and doing some cardiovascular stuff to really try to pump blood and to wake up my nervous system in a different way. Really appreciate everybody stopping by, and I really hope that these tips help you on your next big lift session. I'll see you next time. Thank you.